I am Will, and today we're starting a playthrough of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Yep. This is Dark Souls. Is one of those games where it's either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, and I personally like it. I do like it personally anyway, but I do understand why people don't like it. But yeah, you'll probably notice that the main thing really would be the animations. I think it's the one thing that throw most people off. And the animations of both your character and the enemies, but that's for later. But anyway, we're gonna be starting a playthrough. I will try to do everything I can, like all my other Souls games. Try to gather all the items, do all the NPC quests, talk to as many people as we can. Yeah. And that does include the DLC challenge areas, the challenge runs, the cave and the Brune Tower leading to the Blue Smelter, even the Frigid Outskirts. Oh, God. Yeah, even the Frigid Outskirts, that is going to not be fun. But, anyway. Yeah, that is the plan. Just gotta do everything I can. I have kind of sort of a build in mind, but we'll see what happens. But Dark Souls 2. It's actually been a hot minute since I actually played this, so I will probably be out of practice, to be honest. But I don't know. It's an interesting game, I'll say that. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right in, shall we?
Perhaps you've seen it, maybe in a dream, a murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drangleic. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. withdrawn to a flame. Your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
All right. Things betwixt indeed. Yeah. Very interesting opening cutscene, I will say that. Kind of trippy in that sense. Yep. I think we just got thrown through time and space. Because, you know, as the fire fades, time and space kind of warp. Yep. But here we are. Dark Souls 2. Yep, just a little pavilion. Yep. Yeah, there's nothing really out here. Yeah, there's no enemies. Well, there are enemies, but they're not hostile, so you don't have to worry about them. Yeah. I thought I adjusted the sounds, but it's still kind of loud. Yep. There are these kobolds. They don't drop anything. They're not hostile. They're very dangerous. Not worth fighting. Definitely not worth fighting, so. Over here should be a coin. Rusted coin. I think that boosts item discovery for a time. I've forgotten how. This game does look pretty good. I mean, I am playing on the PS5. It is a Scholar of the First Sin, so it's like. Yeah, this game does look a lot better than Dark Souls, even the remastered. Yeah. Definitely in a cave. We're not going to go that way just yet. So we take it. I'm gonna have to adjust the audio here. I thought I did already, but I guess not. Probably still too loud. Okay, I think that's better. Alright, open the door.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
Well, as with all my games with create a character, Claire. Yes, it is.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be?
Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Alright. Create a character. But before we do that, do this real quick. Could be wearing a helmet most of the time anyway, so it's like not really gonna get too crazy into it. Alright. This is a tough choice. Yes. Deprived is a true level 1 challenge if you want, but all your stats start at 6, so it's like not quite as good as it was in Dark Souls 1, but it is a true level 1. Was the Deprived Dark Souls 1 also level 1? No, he wasn't. No, he was higher than that. Yeah, because I think the warrior in Dark Souls 1 had a lower soul level than that one. But anyway, true level 1. I wouldn't recommend this, especially not on the first try. Explorer is pretty good. It does start with some additional items. And Ferrous Lockstone is particularly important. It's that little green cube thing. And also the helmet has a special effect to it as well, increasing item drop rate. It does have some decent stat spread. I do like starting with the Explorer, just for the Ferrous Lockstone, but it's not necessary. Sorcerer's okay, very weak strength and all that stuff. And the Cleric has very little endurance. And here's your big bonk. This is Bandit. High strength. Axe does start with a bow, which is actually pretty neat. But only 1 intelligence. 1 intelligence. And very little adaptability, which is the crossed arm. There is adaptability. We definitely want a high value for that. Swordsman's nice. Does start. I think his weapons start with a +1 weapon, so that's also pretty good. Knight's a solid choice. High stealth. I mean high health. Does start with a weapon, so that's always plus. Though no shield, which is a minus, but. And Warrior's pretty balanced, melee focused. It's always a tough choice. Probably just stick with the Warrior, just to start. The weapon I have in mind is a mainly dex weapon, but I do want to incorporate some magic and faith in there as well. Well, particularly faith, anyway. I'll just go with the warrior. I can always spec out later as we play. Alright. Starting gift. Life range just increases max HP. It's not much. I think it's like 5%, if that. Human effigy is like your humanity. Just restores your human appearance. There's a bunch of healing items. Not a bad choice the first time. Homeward Bone. Not a bad choice. Seed of a Tree of a Giant could be useful in certain situations, but there are ways to get it later on. Bonfire Aesthetic. I would not recommend this for a first playthrough, just because this increases the zone you use it in to the next new game cycle. So if you beat a boss, you use this on the nearby bonfire, it will respawn the boss, but also change the whole area into the new game plus version of it. So use this with caution, I will say. And once you upgrade it once, it'll continue to be upgraded for some subsequent playthroughs, so be very mindful of this thing. It does have its uses, but I don't like using it, personally anyway. Petricize something. We trade this with Pickled Pea and Pumper Rum. Yep. I think are they Pickled Pea, Pumper Rum? Or there might be something else. I don't know. They're the crows in this game. You trade this with them, and they give you a random item. Healing wares is a good choice. Nah. Petrified something. We'll take our chance. We'll see what happens. Alright. Do I want to stick with the warrior, though? Yeah, we'll stick with the warrior. Alright. Let's do this. Is this your true self? Yes, it is.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
Alright. Very ominous laughter, ha ha ha. But we got our equipment. God's music is really loud. That's better. Dang, that was loud. I'm sorry. I thought I did this already, but I guess not. But all right. We got our stuff. Still have the other imported hood. Yeah. Life gem, small stone made up of crystallized souls. Gradually restores a small amount of health, small amount of HP. Often found near abandoned corpses, as if it were what remains of the soul. Yep. I think it's 500 HP over 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, you can stack their effects, so if you consume more than one, it will stack in healing speed. But it's 500 per stone. So this life gem alone breaks the game in many ways, like the what's it called? The grass and demon souls. So The Dark Sign. An accursed mark. The Dark Sign indicates death, returning the player to the last bonfire rested at the cost of all souls held. Do what you must to gather the pieces, scraping them into some semblance of a whole, before the will to do so fades. And pick this up at the Cobalts. Yep. Question the coin temporarily boosts luck. Not sure of the details. The rusted coin gives you the little extra bit of luck, making items and the like easier to find. The coin is engraved with the image of a god that was worshipped in ancient times, but no one knows its true origins. Probably one of the coins that Petrus gave us in Dark Souls 1. There's like the copper coin, the silver coin, and the gold coin. It's probably one of those, but again, image of a god worshipped in ancient times, so it's probably the gold coin that turned rusted. But gold doesn't rust, so probably bronze or the copper. Separation crystal, symbol of farewells that have been passed down since time immemorial. The crystal sends phantoms back to their home or sends you back to yours. Whether entering in hope or despair, encounters are valuable experiences. Beware fickle use of this item. And the Bone of Order. You will be punished for fleeing from other worlds by disconnecting unjustly. However, this charm will disperse the ire directed at you. But sins are not easily buried, and there is no telling if you will be let off so easily next time. Each encounter in this life is a precarious turn of fate, and fate will not be cheated. I'm pretty sure if this eliminates any of the, I think invasion timers, or summon timers, or whatever, online timers, I think this gets rid of that. Yeah, resets them, I would say. Small Suki Stone. So we picked up by the waterfall. Yep. Use to slightly restore HP. It is a small amount, but we can't trade this with the crow. Yeah. The shine of the stone is no ordinary polish and can only be achieved over a long period. Some of this land are in search of such stones. Yep. And here's the petrified something. Unidentified petrified object. Pleasant to the touch despite its looks. A rare and peculiar thing, to be certain, but one without a known purpose. Yep. The only purpose I know of is to trade with the crow, so... Yep. Yeah. But nearly useless trumps empty-handed. That is true. Lightweight despite its iron construction, sturdy despite its small size, but not sufficient to protect one from real danger. Yeah, it's useful, but it's not 100. It does not have 100% block. So, hemp hood that fully covers the face provides protection for the elements and a little more. The cursed souls who wander the lands have a strange way of ending up here, as if drawn from far away by some force. Yep. Yep. No. Yep. No blemish or anything. Alright. I think that was everything. So we don't have any spells. Yeah, we don't have anything else. Alright. Anyway, yep. These are the firekeepers. Yeah, these are firekeepers. We can actually talk to them. Ha ha ha. Okay.
You must go on a journey without rest. Well, I suppose if you find yourself at an impasse. But if your will is yet unbroken, then you may return here. To start again. With a clean slate.
Yep, Dark Souls 2 introduces the respec mechanic to the Souls games. Yeah, there's an item, I think it's called the Unknown Vessel, I believe it's called. Yeah, you get one of those, come back to her, and you'll reallocate your stats. So, come back to her to restat or respec. Anything from you?
This is a limbo. A link between Drangleic and the outer world. Fair traveller, I know that you must have a story. Why else would you visit such a place? This lost, decayed kingdom.
Limbo between worlds, huh?
My name is Millibeth. The old women were once fire keepers. I am here to look after them. It is what my mother did, and her mother before her, and so on.
Yep, so right there tells us these ladies are fire keepers, and her family's been tending to them for generations.
The old women were keepers of the fire. But now, the fire shows signs of fading. And the kingdom is beset by hollows.
Yep. Curse of the undead has plagued the lands, I see.
The old women are sisters. I am told there was a fourth. Long ago, fire keepers were commonplace. But now they are lost, scattered to the winds.
Yep. So apparently there's a fourth one. That's probably the one we talked to in the opening cutscene. The blind lady spinning her threads. Yep.
The old women are long ago, but
right.
now.
All right, I think that's everything she has. Yep. Up the stairs. Chest. Don't worry, it's not trapped or anything. Human effigy. This game's humanity. Yep, reverses hollowing. Yep. A warm, soft, shadow-like effigy uses item to reverse hollowing. It also weakens links to other worlds, preventing invasions and most cooperation. Yep. That effect you have to use at a bonfire. So, peer closely at an effigy, and one begins to perceive a human form, but whose form it takes depends on the person looking. Kind of like a surrogate for the curse, kind of like a purging stone of sorts. Purging stone and humanity kind of clumped together. Yep. All right. Through the door. First bonfire. There is a challenge in the game. If you can beat Dark Souls 2 without dying, you get a special ring. If you can beat the game without resting on a bonfire, there's also another ring. I can't do either one. I'm not even going to try. I'm just letting you know that there's that in-game challenge. There's no trophy or achievement for it. It's just an in-game thing. So if you can beat the game without dying, you get a reward. If you can do it without resting at a bonfire, you get another reward. So I'm not going to attempt it. I ain't going to try, so just letting you know that it's there. Soul of an Undead, a torch. We'll just rest real quick. And here's the burn. We burn the human effigy to break the links between other worlds, or weaken the link anyway. So if you're online, which I'm not online, so if you are online, you can burn an effigy to prevent invasions and all that stuff. So, or at least reduce the chance of it by a lot. Is the torch in here, or is it? All right. Yeah. So we do have a torch. Here. Yeah. Get close to a bonfire, toggle, light torch, you can light a torch. There is a time limit for it, so just be careful how you use it. Before we move on, we gotta backtrack real quick. That little side cave area we saw. Yeah. Big old footprints. belong to Mr. Ogre here. I think he's an ogre. I think the game calls him an ogre. I don't have Dark Souls 2 on the PC, so I can't extract the files, so I don't know the detailed numbers. But you're just trying to get behind him. And just kind of 2 hits. The key is just kind of stay behind him. Because if you're behind him, he'll butt slam. If you're off to the left a little bit, he'll slam a little to the right. And if you're to the right, he'll slam a little left. So this is all you gotta do. Stay behind him. Back off a bit, because it does hurt. If you do our spacing right, he'll just kind of make a big circle as you get behind him. Whack, whack. Don't be greedy, just 2 hits, back up. There you go. And that's it. Just gotta get behind him and let him do his little butt stomp, or butt slam. And this guy, he doesn't respawn, and he's guaranteed to drop the stone ring. Yep. In fact, we're gonna slap that on right now. Yep. This beloved ring of the gallant, shieldless Lothin, formerly of Ferosa, hits greatly reduce enemy poise. Yep. The effect may seem trivial, but for those who comprehend how critical it is to exploit a hole in enemy defenses, the significance of this ring will be clear. Yep. Yep. So it's basically just increases our chances of flinching enemies or breaking their poise. But where is it? There it is. Oh. Yep, we have Dark Souls 2 introduces a lot of stuff to the Souls games. The 3 equipments per arm, per hand, the 4 ring slots, the power stance is in this game, though it's a little finicky to work. But there is power stance in this game. Your equip load, your medium load no longer stops at 50%. So it increases the upper cap to medium load up to 70%. So, which is carried over into Dark Souls 3 and then into Elden Ring. So the game does a lot of stuff. Introduces a lot of things. The respec, the power stance. But Pine Resin. But also does some interesting things with some of the other mechanics, like if we look here, all this stuff. You got your HP, equipment load, slots, cast speed. It actually shows you a numerical value of your cast speed, which is pretty nice. And you got your attack strength and attack dexterity. Those are your, how do I describe it? Your weapon's stat scaling will scale based off that value. So if you're, the power to inflict damage with physical attacks improves with strength. So your weapon strength scaling will get with base that plus 20 next to our broken straight sword, that comes off the equipment scaling, the D-strength scaling from the strength attack strength. So it's kind of convoluted. Some of the changes in this game are kind of wonky, like the this right here. This is particular for a lot of Souls players. This right here, agility. Because this affects your iframes and your dodge, your cast speed. Well, a lot of it in your cast speed and item usage. So very important stuff in Souls games, and it's tied to this one thing right here, which is tied to adaptability. So we have a whole bunch of resistances. These are your physical scaling modifiers. Again, terrible at explaining it. I apologize, but your weapons attribute scalings will be based off these values here. So this one, as our strength increases, this value increases. As our dex increases, this value increases. Same with intelligence. Fire scales off both faith and intelligence. Lightning goes off intelligence. Dark, again, is like fire, faith, and intelligence. Poison, I believe, is dexterity for some reason, I think? Question mark? I know bleed is dexterity. I don't know. These two, I'm not 100% sure, but I tend not to use them anyway because they're not that, well, bleed's not that good. It's okay, but poison is definitely where it's at. Poison is really strong in this game. Yep. Yep, so they added dark to this game. They added, well, petrification is your curse in Dark Souls 1, your death plate in Elden Ring. So once this fills up, it's instant death, as it says. Yep. I think there's a hidden mechanic with hollowing. Yeah. I don't know, I'll probably go more into it as it happens, but yeah, your max health will actually decrease the more you die, down to 50%, like in Demon Souls. But I'm I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty certain that as your hollowing increases, so does your damage. Like, you do more damage the more hollowed you are, but I think you take less damage the less hollow you are. So there's that little trade-off there. I don't have any data to back it up. It's just, gut feeling. But anyway. Sorry about the little terrible explanations. It's just not that familiar with Dark Souls 2. And they also, in this game, they also unbound the jump button from your circle. At least you could change it to the, I have it on the L3, my left stick. So, anyway. Yep. For respite, you may also light torches on them. Yep. It also repairs your equipment, because in this game, your item durability is a lot less than the other Souls games. So you definitely have to take that into account when you're fighting. That's also kind of controversial, but I don't mind it. I kind of like it, actually. It gives you a bit more, put your weapons, well, because in Dark Souls 1 and 3, your weapon durability isn't that critical because you have a lot of it and it degrades pretty slowly. But in this game, it degrades pretty quickly, so you have to keep an eye on it, have backup weapons, carry powders, and all that stuff. I like it. But, again, Dark Souls 2, controversial game. Either you love it or you hate it. But I do like the little physics going on with the cloth. They made a lot of improvements on the engine with Dark Souls 2, so here we are. Alright, should we just light a torch? Do I want to do it now or do I want to do it later? I am going to eventually run through here with the torch. I just got to decide if I want to do it now or not. Because there is an event that does happen if you light all the torches, but you can't light them all yet. I only have 5 minutes of torch right now, so I may not be able to do it. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll get more torches on the as we play. Like the sconces. These are your little tutorial messages in these little stones. Really do like the little lighting effect, the shadows and all that. They improved the engine a lot with this game. I know in the pre-release, stuff, there was a lot more emphasis on the lighting and how it would affect the surroundings and whatnot. but they kind of toned it down in the release for some reason. Backstabs. It's no longer instant. You actually have to hit him in the back of the neck like that. That little elbow there. Yeah. Parrying in this game is tricky. Yeah. Ooh, dagger. I don't know. It may not be that much better, but we're definitely going to put it here. Yeah, I was saying, like, a lot of the pre-release trailers and whatnot had a lot of emphasis on lighting, but they scaled it way back in the release, which is kind of sad. Take care of you. There we go. But I definitely do like the lighting effects in this game. Though I think they did improve upon it with the Scholar of the First Sin, at least, which is nice. It's FG. It's a shame our time doesn't stop as we pass through Fall Gates, which is fine. Here's the crow. Knock down the ladder.
You! Give us smooth! Yes, you! Give us silky!
1 second there, duo. Drop down. Soul item. We'll light this. And then we'll light this. And we'll put our torch away. Okay. Yeah, definitely knock the ladder down before you hop down. Just so you can get back up till we can trade. So here's the crow nest.
You! Give us smooth! Yes, you! Give us silky!
I know. Give me a second. Yep. So here, you just have to leave. You don't have to quit out. You just have to leave. Once you leave it, it will appear in the...
So nice, so smooth. Yeah! Silky smooth!
Yeah, you don't have to quit out. You just have to drop it. It is a random list of stuff that they'll trade.
Yes, you! Give us silky!
The smallest, smoothest, silky is a short list. Ooh, a tie-knot chart. Actually, that's a good one. That's actually really good. That's just an upgrade item. Yeah. Tie-knot was discovered in an ancient layer of earth and is said to be a gift of the gods. Tie-knot of this size has very little power, but is still a rare find. It allows us to upgrade weapons to +3. So having that this early on, solid. Very good. But if we drop Petrify something, this will give us a chance for some of the rarer items. It's not. It's probably a Petrified Dragon Bone.
Yeah! Silky smooth! You! Yes!
I know. Ooh, Tie-Knight Slab. I did not know you can actually get that from them. I know the Petrified something gives you a lot of the rarer stuff, like Twinkly Tie-Knight, Petrified Dragon Bone, which is used to upgrade boss weapons. There's a ring that they can drop, the Channeler Trident they can drop. Those require the Petrified something. I think there's an old whip also gets you from the Petrified something. So, getting that slab here, very good. Tie-Knight slabs were created to smith the weapons of the gods, or so the legends say. Yeah, the max reinforcements for regular Tie-Knight weapons is +10, not +15, just +10. So, but I think boss weapons and Twinkling Tie-Knight weapons are still +5, so yeah. Alright. Let's just finish out things betwixt. Yes, I know. I see you two-handing there. Put that away real quick. Yep. Here's the jump. And over here is an amber herb, which restores spell usage. Yep. So they restore spell usage. Yep. An annual herb with an amber color so deep it gives the impression of a luminescence. Restores a small number of spell uses. It is the mistaken belief of many that the flower of this herb do not blossom. However, small white flowers do blossom during dusk when the moon is visible. Yep. Okay, that jump usually always scares me, trying to go back and forth. But for you spellcasters, that amber herb will be pretty useful. You can also sprint up ladders. Yep. Another thing Dark Souls 2 adds. Here's the plunging attack. Apparently he has iframes as he gets up. Door. And you can actually quick open the doors. Just roll into it, quick open. Cracked red eye orbs. We'll check that out once we get another sconce. Okay, I think we're near the end anyway. Like this. Over here, like this. I think that's all the ones we can get to right now, yep. Basilisks, and they're here in the game. Yeah. This little zone is, you can't access this zone just yet. Yeah, it's kind of blocked off, but... Yeah. Alright. Picked up a cracked red eye orb. Yep. To receive a token of spite. Yep, the residual sins of those who have succumbed to dark temptations are contained in the form of the cracked red eye orb. Yep. Alright. Hop down. Let's light these last two sconces we can get to. Yeah, we can't get down there just yet either, so we'll have to come back. This, and there's that one. There we go. Yeah, this place does look a lot nicer with all the sconces lit, but yeah. The statue blocks your way. Yeah, so we can't go any further until we undo the statue, which requires a fragrant branch of yore. Yeah, we needed one of those to unpetrify that thing, or that guy, so... Yeah, he's not a statue, he's an actual petrified human, but... There we go. Yep. Never actually looked up before. It's like we're coming out of a cave. Majula. I know. I'm passing up stuff. I'm going to do that next episode. There we go. A lot of stuff to gather, quite a number of people to talk to, so light the bonfire, we'll rest. And with that, I am going to call an episode. Episode number 1 of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Yep. Didn't do very much. Yeah, we just started the game, watched the opening cutscene, created our character, cleared out the first little area of things betwixt, took on an ogre. Yep. Lighted sconces, came here to Majula. Yep. Not much happened. But anyway. Yep. So next episode, we'll probably just explore around Majula. Yep. Gather up the items. Yeah, there's quite a number of items to gather around. There's a few people to talk to. So that's probably going to be next episode. Just that. So, oh man, this one's going to take a while because this is actually a decently sized game compared to Dark Souls. But I'm looking forward to it. I haven't played this game in a while. I do like it. So, I'm one of those people who love it, unlike some others, but I do understand why people don't like it, but yeah, anyway. Yeah. So yeah. Next episode, Majula. But again, let me just get this worked out. Oh, they don't have that. They don't have the motion controls to this yet. So let me change this. To that. Alright. Alright. And again, I thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next time. That was a pretty